Hi, everybody. Welcome to 9 Nation, episode 4. My name is Angie, and I am here with some of our talent client services department. We have my PIC partner in castings.
Hey.
Kristin.
Hello, everyone.
And we also have the infamous Justin Gray.
Hi.
Jay Gray, they call him.
Jay Gray, yeah.
So we have to talk about this Popeye Spicy Chicken craze. So to put it into perspective for everybody, we live about a mile from a Popeyes, and the traffic since this chicken has come out, this chicken sandwich, has been insane.
All three of us take it to work, to and from home.
To get
our
Starbucks.
Addiction.
Oh yeah,
So
you have to have Starbucks 3 times a day.
Yeah, it's bad. But the traffic, the difference, it's insanity.
It's insane.
And then we all, so back to what we were going to talk about. So we, as an office, all decided to nominate somebody. We nominated Kristin.
Yes.
To go over there and essentially pick up a bunch of sandwiches. How many did we end up getting?
13 to be exact.
13. So 13 sandwiches. I think we got all spicy.
Yeah, it was 13 spicy chicken sandwiches.
Yeah, so all spicy. You were there for
an hour and a half.
An hour and a half. So a drive time is usually 5 minutes.
If that.
Yeah, so to and from 10 minutes. So you were there for.
Yeah, how long did it take you to get there?
So let's start there. Here. We went before lunchtime.
Yeah,
so
you left at 11:45.
Yeah, so when we got there, I was like, let's not get stuck, because it was already a line forming in the drive-thru. So I was like, let me just park. Let's not get stuck in the drive-thru. So I parked, and when I went inside, it was popping. It was so many people in there, a line forming. So where people would sit down and eat, they were actually sitting down waiting for their food. Nobody was sitting there eating. So everyone, while I was waiting, when they were getting their number call, they were all clapping woo, yeah. So I went up there. I was like, hey, I want to order 13. She was like, huh? I was like, I want to order 13 sandwiches. And she was like, you want to order how many? I was like, oh, okay, it's for my office, 13. And she was like, does your boss know you're going to be here forever? I was like, yeah.
He does now.
I was like, yeah. But that line was literally insane. When they threw the bag of chicken sandwiches on the counter, it was the most embarrassing thing. Let's start there. It was like a big old Popeyes bag. It looks like I went shopping at Target. So you know the big Target bags?
Yeah.
That was full of chicken sandwiches. And everybody was looking like, oh, so you're the one where
why they're waiting so long. Right.
So I never went to Popeyes before
I haven't either.
To get a chicken sandwich. So I wasn't really, I guess my expectation was not high or low, but it was good. It was a very, I think what's this difference?
I thought so. There was 2 options. You could get it with mayo or a spicy sauce. So we opted to get the spicy sauce. And so how it came was it had the bottom bun, and then it had 2 battered pieces of chicken, right? It was 2.
No, it's one. It was
Mine was in 2. Maybe I just got
lucky.
2 halvesies.
Yeah. No, it was a big breast.
They were big.
Yeah. It was literally a big breast.
And it was really juicy, I will say.
Yeah.
And then it had pickles and the sauce.
Yeah.
And that was it, right?
That was really it for it. But it was
it wasn't bad. It was good. I didn't think it was anything spectacular. I mean, it's what you would expect from fast food.
Right.
I mean, I liked it because it wasn't as spicy. It didn't overwhelm me.
Yes.
But it was just perfect. I would have definitely more pickles, though.
Right,
not gonna
but
lie.
it's caused such an insane craze all over the place. And some of our coworkers went yesterday to try to get some, and they were sold out.
Yeah, completely.
And this is how long? When did this chicken sandwich come out? It's been weeks, right?
I think this is the second week.
Yeah, but it wasn't really viral the first couple days, and then it just went. I don't know, maybe the right person had it and decided to post about it on social media, but at first it wasn't this huge thing.
Well, did they have commercials?
No.
They didn't.
No, it literally went viral from one person on Instagram making a video about how good this sandwich was. I wish we would have
That
a name,
is so
the name of the person, but
crazy.
like it was just literally one person from there. It like a domino effect. Of
I
people.
wonder if it's like this nationwide. Like, is the whole country?
Oh no,
like,
for
sold-
sure, it is. It is. Like
So-
it's like this everywhere, at
Yeah.
in every state, every Popeyes.
So we have our one of our office directors, Sanibel, in our New York office. She mentioned it yesterday that she was trying same thing. She was trying to get us one of the sandwiches, and the line was all the way out to in Manhattan, all the way down like in Times Square. It was
Well, that's
crazy.
because we want what other people. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So now that the lines are so long, it's generating so much buzz that everybody has to try it. And then when you get it, like, what did you think? Was it what you expected? Was it better? Was it?
Honestly, I went in, I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to expect nothing because if it's nasty, I'm going to be pissed off that I just waited that long. But it actually, like,
It was worth
went
it.
beyond
Yeah.
my expectation. Because I was just like, it's probably going to be just some...
Yeah, and it makes you really think
Sandwich.
about like these like foodie viral sensations. Like
Mm-hmm.
Starbucks had the different frappuccinos.
Yeah, the unicorn.
They had two, like the unicorn one, and then I think it was like a crystal ball frappuccino or something. And then
Have you tried either of those? I never
So-
did. I knew one looked like a tie dye.
see that
That's the
that's the thing.
unicorn.
Yeah, there was a tie dye one this year that was sold
Okay.
out very quickly, but the one from last year was the unicorn one. It was honestly nasty.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
What did
not
it taste
good.
like? It looked like a gumball.
It was
almost.
like mango flavored. It was I
Oh.
don't know. It was
Yeah, I don't
absolutely
think I like
horrible.
I was
Yeah.
going to
So
say, my
bad.
daughter, she saw it on that liked app.
Yeah.
And she was like, I want to try this. I want to try it. So we went and got it. And she took a sip. For one, I was mad. I was like, I wasted like $4.
Yeah.
But she took a sip and she was like, oh my God, this is the nastiest thing. And I was like, wait, what?
You totally could have walked it back in there and told her you didn't
We
like
went
it.
through
They
the
would've made you a new
drive-thru.
one. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we were like,
They're really good
already,
about that.
already like down the street. I was just like, yes. We were already down the street, so I was just like, whatever.
Right. But and that's the thing, like, back to like what you were saying though, like about your expectations. Like, I feel like in situations like that, like where something does go viral, you don't really try it because you think it's going to be good. Like, you're just trying it
Because
because
everybody
the
else
word
is
of mouth,
fad.
you
Yeah.
know, things like that.
For sure.
So, I mean, I can agree though with Kristin. It was a good chicken sandwich, but for the hype that it had, I don't think it was like
No, like I
worth it.
wouldn't. I had never been to Popeyes before, and I wouldn't ever really necessarily go back.
Right. Like if they
It was cool to try for once, just
Yeah.
to see what the hype was all about, and it was really a really juicy chicken sandwich. But other than that, it wasn't anything like I would go out of my way for.
if
it.
if it came back on the menu as like a regular item, I don't think
Yeah,
I'd
if
I
the
don't
lines
think-
weren't 4 hours long.
That too. It's weird though. My boyfriend said he preferred Wendy's spicy chicken
I
sandwich.
love Wendy's. I agree with him 100%.
He was like, he said it's way more spicier. He was like, I would trade buns, but he said
Right.
other
Well,
than
now I'm wondering, is the spice like in the chicken breading, or was it the sauce that
no,
we
it's
got?
the sauce.
Okay, that's what it
Versus Wendy's is in the breading.
was. Right, correct. Yeah.
for sure the sauce.
Yeah.
The sauce.
So, unfortunately, it's about to be September. We have Labor Day coming up this
Yeah.
weekend.
Hey.
The one positive of that, Justin, I know you love the cold weather.
I do.
Not.
I hate it.
Halloween.
We both lived in LA. We like warmth.
Yes, all day.
But that means that all of our fall TV show premieres and new shows are coming out.
Yes.
And Justin's favorite person is going to be headlining a new show.
Yes, she is. So Kelly Brianne Clarkson.
When was she born?
Stop it. The original American Idol is actually
God.
debuting her daytime talk show. I don't know the time slot. I should know this, but she's
Ooh, I
taking
can
over
tell you.
for Steve Harvey.
So, I don't know the time slot, but I can tell you it's going to premiere on Monday, September 9th on
Yep.
NBC.
I believe it's right before Ellen that comes
So it's
on.
like a daytime talk
Yeah.
show. Okay.
And what's really cool about it is her very first show, she's going to be having the original American Idol judges on there.
Oh,
Yep.
so she's going to have
Simon,
Randy, and
Paula.
Oh, good Paula.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see. I don't think the three of them have been together since since the show. Maybe like
Well, who's the
Celebrity
judges
Happening.
now?
Katy Perry,
That's right.
Keith Urban, I
Yeah.
want to say, and
Lionel Richie.
Yeah, like, I was gonna say, wait,
Is it
it's-
Keith Urban?
It
Is it?
was, but I don't know for sure.
I know
if
it was
still is.
Katie and Lionel,
Yeah.
but I can't remember.
Is Simon's not still on it?
No, he does.
He went to
Really?
do the X Factor.
Yeah.
He-
Okay,
yeah,
I did know that.
He brought that from overseas because that he had it
Yeah.
already when he was a judge
in the UK, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just while we're on the topic of American Idol, they actually are doing their auditions right now. They're touring the country as they always do. You know, they always show the audition round. And they're going to be going to several cities. And we actually are working directly with the casting directors to help them try and find some amazing singers. So for any of our talent in any of the areas where we have offices, along with other cities across the country where they are going to be holding auditions, we actually have front of the line passes. So if you're interested in being considered, please send us an email at audition@nine9.com, and I'll put the link below so you have it.
Yep.
Anyways.
Awesome. Yeah. No. So how much time does that save? Probably hours.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's cool. You know, you kind of would do like a pre-audition over the phone, and then they'll get you right to the producers, so you don't have to wait in those long lines. You can get right into the first round.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's awesome for our talent.
It's been a couple of years that they've done that with us, right?
Yeah, it's been quite a while, maybe at least 5-6 years.
Yeah. That's great.
If not longer. But anyways, back to Kelly's show. Is she's going to be like a Ellen type show?
Kind of, yeah. So she's gonna do she's gonna have like different skits with like different celebrities, kind of like what Ellen did with like anything viral related. So you remember I don't remember the little girl's name, the one that did Super Bass.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sophie B.
Yeah. Great. And how long ago was that?
That
8,
was
9
a
years
long
ago?
time ago.
I was gonna say, have you guys seen her now?
No.
No.
She is like so grown.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. What's surprisingly the other one.
Yeah, her friend, the hype girl.
Yeah, she actually is like really big in like acting.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. We'll
It's
have to
just
look her up.
yeah, it's just interesting like how your career can get jump started from viral videos.
Yeah.
Like even who was it? Justin Bieber got picked
Yeah.
up from YouTube by
From Usher.
Usher.
Yeah.
Usher discovered him.
Just
yeah.
being a YouTube singer. So it's
Now
I mean,
that's like a 1 in a million, though.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's of course you want to put yourself out there, but just
Yeah.
hoping that someone's going to stumble across your page and throw you into superstardom isn't completely realistic.
But that's just like that one girl. I don't know if you guys know her. She's like on Instagram, just hilarious.
I don't
She's a
think so.
comedian.
Okay.
Like she ended up like doing these like where she acts like she's a newscaster.
Yeah.
But she like talks about all the celebrity gossip. From there, she went on to do like a some show on NBC. I forgot. I can't think of the name, but she went into doing like daytime television.
Well, probably 'cause she gained a lot of followers, a
Oh,
lot of
so
traction.
many
Yeah.
followers.
And then you start spreading word of mouth, and then
Yeah.
you will get the attention of
Yeah.
people. Yeah. But she had a different idea.
Yeah, no, it's the funniest thing.
We'll have to check that
Yeah,
out.
you guys have
Yeah.
to check her out. Her name is Jess Hilarious. Like, she literally is the funniest, like, mimicking newscasters, but it's all about, like, celebrity gossip, and then she'll throw in her little, like, 2
2
cents.
cents, yeah.
So it's,
awesome.
like, the funniest thing.
yeah, I'll
We'll
have
have
to
to
check
check that out.
She's on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
But, when you get into this industry, it's important to be realistic,
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Stay true to who you are.
Well, it's not just staying true to who you are, but, when you first get into the industry, you have to get into it for the right reasons, right?
Yeah.
You can't just expect that, you take a couple classes, or even if you book a couple projects and it's like, okay, I'm a full-time actor, I'm going to, quit my day job and just, you're not going to become a celebrity overnight. If you look back at, what are the celebrities less than 1%? There's hundreds of thousands of people in SAG, and how many of those people are ongoing working actors?
Right.
But you can get there, but you have to put in a lot of work, and
Yeah.
you have to be realistic when you're getting into the industry. Everybody has to start somewhere. You have to gain training. You have to go on auditions in order to book them. And I remember when I was first getting into the industry, I think I was told the ratio was like 1 to 60.
No, yeah. It's,
right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's literally crazy. Like, some people it does happen for overnight. Right. Like, you just happen to land that one role and you blow up. And then some people, it's like they don't land something until like 10 to 15 years. It's just really the determination and how much you want to work on your craft. And just like you said, putting in the time.
And having an open mind. Like,
yeah.
Mostly,
right.
like, not turning down a role because it's, whether it doesn't pay what you wanted to make or what you thought you would make, or, you're just receiving copy credit. Like, being, open to as many opportunities as possible is, it's crucial for not only building up your resume, but really getting that experience, like being on set. Like,
Yeah.
You never really know what could happen once you're there. You could get upgraded. You could get
we talked about that before, how it happens.
You could anything. So it's just, staying positive first and foremost, like, not expecting to be, booked for something the day of or the same day, just making sure that you have a very clear, realistic mindset of, what you're getting into, and you're getting into it for the right reason.
Yeah, you want to make sure, that's why we submit our talent to both paid and non-paid opportunities, because you have to start somewhere. And if you're someone, as an actor, I know we've talked about this before, a model, you're your own business.
Right.
And so look at it something like this. If you were going to hire someone to paint your house, and you had, let's say, 2 options. You have somebody who doesn't have any training and doesn't have any past painting experience, or you have somebody who's been trained and who has painting experience, and you're paying this person to paint your house.
Right.
Who are you going to choose? I mean, it's obvious you're going to go with the person who has experience. That's for sure not to say just because you don't have experience that you won't book something.
Right.
Because it does happen on a daily basis. But you have to be realistic, and you have to be willing to put in the work and put in the effort and put in your time, and you have to put in your dues, whether that's taking unpaid jobs, whether that's doing student films, whether that's doing test shoots with photographers to help build your book. No matter what it is, it's going to help you on your journey, like you said, gain experience. You're going to network with different people. Networking is everything in this industry.
It's really who you know.
If you turn down a non-paid job, who's to say that client the next week isn't going to be casting a paid role that maybe they would have thought you were perfect for?
Right.
You build those relationships with the casting directors and the clients, and they remember you.
And not just that, though. When you think about that turns into something you can add to your reel.
Exactly.
Like, you get to show your versatility. This thing, I think I'm like a banjo. No, but it's like you get to show your range.
Right.
That just like you might be playing someone dramatic in a film that you get paid nothing. Probably maybe 10 people saw it, but it could be shown to the right person, and they're like, damn, that's who I want.
Exactly.
Like, I want her. So.
And that's how you build your reel. You build your reel by booking projects, and that's how you get the footage to put it together. So the more projects you book, the more versatility you can show. You continually update your reel, with the better work and the better projects you do.
And even going to acting classes are like,
that's huge.
Yeah, or for saying like for our talent, the workshops that we offer,
right.
We do. Most of them aren't they are videotaped. So it's
a lot of them are. Yes.
Yeah. So more of the acting classes are videotaped, which is you can use that for your reel.
Yeah.
As far as if you're actually done a couple and you're doing good in it and it's good footage of you, it's like that's another way of you showing your versatility.
Exactly. It's all taking you in the right direction, and getting to the industry for the right reasons too. There's superficial reasons, and the superficial reasons aren't going to keep you there.
It's going to drive you crazy.
Because if you only want to get into the industry because you want to be rich and famous, you're gonna let yourself down.
Because trust me, sometimes what glitters is not always gold.
Right, exactly. And you know what's really cool? I had Goldie Hawn once gave me a piece of advice that I'll forever remember and cherish. But I had said to her something along the lines of, like, thank you so much, like, for what you've brought to us. Like, I can only hope to bring 1/1,000,000th of what you've brought to our lives. And she said, thank you so much, darling, but your intention to inspire is what will make your dreams a reality.
That's crazy. That's
It's
some
true.
Food
It's
for
true.
thought.
Yeah, and it's like I'll never forget that. And
It's
the truth.
Yeah.
So you have to have the right intentions, because that's what keeps your drive going.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to get turned down. You're not going to book every job. You'd be really lucky if you did, but realistically, again, the ratio was 1 to 60 back when I was starting out. I don't know about now, but with the internet and, you know, social media and stuff, but that means you'll book one job to every 60 auditions you go to.
That's true.
I'm sure it's not quite as high now with a lot of self-tape auditions and things like that, but
yeah. And I think too now it's like, for instance, like I'd say probably because I did some stuff younger.
Yeah.
And I know it's definitely like the casting and people like seeking you out was way different than now. It's like the followers, you know, you gain the followers, people pay attention to you versus, hey, I saw you in a dance class. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like what people need to understand is like, even though the people with all the followers are getting noticed, don't let that off-rail you.
Yeah.
You know, stay determined. Because, like, that was my thing. I was like, once I got turned down for one role, I was like, oh, this is not for me.
And
you got to have thick skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, social media has obviously changed, you know, things for the better and for the worse with, like, the process with castings. But it's still pretty much very much the same, you know, making sure when you get picked to audition for something that you have a positive attitude, and if they tell you they don't like you, that's just the way it is, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, and you can't take it personally.
No.
Every casting director wants you to be the one that they're looking for. You know, so they're not judging you as a person, and it's not, you know, maybe you're not right for one particular role, but that doesn't mean you're not going to be right for the next.
Exactly.
You can't get discouraged.
No, you can't. And that's, I think, like, when I got discouraged, like, I can speak personally, it's like, I was young. Like, it was the weirdest thing. Like, I went out for an interview with the vampire. Literally, it was between me and Kristin Dunst. Like, I have pictures of us as little kids playing, like, my mom. And they told my mom, like, oh, yeah, we want to go for the girl that looks more like in the book, which was her look. And so I was just like, I put all that into it, and I didn't get picked. But it's like, that made me turn somewhere else where I know that if I probably would have stayed with it, my career probably would have went a different way. And so that's another thing I want to tell people is, like, just like you guys said, stay determined. Like, stay dedicated. Don't let that one job make you feel like, oh, this is not for me.
And life gets in the way too.
Yeah.
You know, we work and have kids and family, so it's hard sometimes to keep it going full force. But even if you're doing it part-time, as long as you're actively working on your craft and attending workshops or classes and going on auditions when you can, you may, you know, get to the point where you hit, like Kristin said, all it takes is one job.
One job.
That's it. I had a friend that I had met back when I was working on my first film, 61. He actually wrote the movie. And, gosh, I can't remember what year this was, but I was living back in L.A. This is probably, like, I don't know, 10 years ago. Maybe less. Anyway, so he had called me and said, oh, my God, I pitched this show to CBS. You know, and I think that they're interested, and, you know, blah, 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 blah. He was just really excited. You know, 61 was his first film and all that kind of stuff. And then he ended up calling a couple weeks later, and he said, you're not going to believe this. They picked it up for 60 episodes, and it's the TV show Without a Trace.
Oh, wow.
So then he had called me one day and brought me to the set, and he was so excited. He's like, this is my parking spot, you know, this is my office. And then, you know, we're walking through the set, and the whole cast was there, and he's introducing me to everybody. But he was so proud, you know, to show off just even his little parking space. And he said to me, he's like, Ange, all it takes is one project.
It does.
That's it, and it can change your entire life. So it was really cool to just know him through a time where he was just starting out, like, and he ended up being nominated for several Emmys. He may have won, I'm not sure, but I didn't really pay attention. But, you know, to see somebody starting out and then putting work into it, I know he had written things in between here and there, and then watching them, you know, you just, the right timing, the right people, the right show, and his whole world changed.
Well,
So,
right, and then just like staying humble. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
right, for sure.
He could have easily been, you know, the type of person that I did one movie, like I'm not gonna accept anything like less, like anything like different, you know.
Like,
And
I don't get out of bed for less than
right,
10 grand.
exactly.
No.
But just decided, you know, to take a whim and really like pitch something to a network. That's awesome. That's, oh my god.
And stay confident too, because it's
Yeah.
like without that, they'll eat you up and spit you out. Literally.
especially in the high entertainment
Yeah.
cities.
Yeah.
But you just can't take anything personally,
Yeah.
you know. It's just about going after it, making the right connections. You know, that's what we try to do for all of our talent. You know, especially us in the castings department, we're submitting to the bigger projects that, you know, you don't really have access to because they don't accept submissions from talent directly. And it's typically just because they don't have time to go through thousands of submissions, right? So they
Thousands of
rely on the
emails.
professionals, which in this case would be us, to go through, select the best people for the roles, submit them. You may get a call from us asking if you're available or if you can speak a certain language or do a certain skill. That's us doing work for the client on their behalf to help you try and, you know, book the role or get requested for an audition.
Right.
And then I saw too that Love After Lockup
I love that
was
show.
picked up for another season.
Yeah, season 3.
And we were actually featured on, that was the first season, I think, right?
No, you
Yeah.
guys were featured on the second.
Second one?
season.
Second
Okay, we were
season.
featured on the
I
second
can't-
season.
It's like not old, obviously,
It
but
seems like it was
it's-
forever
Yeah,
ago.
right.
I guess that's about right. It
Oh,
was
wait,
almost
no.
2 years ago.
Was
it? was 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, it was the first season.
Yeah, it was the first
It was the
season.
first
Well,
season.
because you got to figure that the filming probably took place around then, and then after production and things like that, it didn't air until I think it airs when either mid-season or late season. I'm not sure.
It's
depends.
well right now. So this would be considered what? And this would be considered
Right now,
early.
they've been filming for these fall episodes,
Yeah.
right? Because you have
Yeah.
to film, then you have to edit it, and then you can
So
release
like
it.
right now, season 3. I want to say I think it's like the
That
third,
sounds about right.
second, third episode
Oh, wow.
already.
Yeah.
So it's
So-
coming back to We
Yeah,
TV. That's where it
WeTV.
aired.
I love it.
And we were featured in an episode. It's funny, Kristin and I were talking before we started, and she said she actually saw the episode.
No. So the funniest thing is, I love to watch all the shows that like probably like the average person wouldn't watch. Like I love to like binge watch stuff. And so I saw this Love After Lockup. Like for some reason I'm obsessed with like jail shows. I don't know why. And so I was like, oh, I want to see what this is about. So I'm like watching it. This is before I worked here too. So I'm watching it, and then this one chick, she was like a model and had like a drug problem, went to jail. And
Yeah.
so like the guy that she had started pen paling was like, I want you to get back in modeling. He set her up an appointment with Nine9, and she came in and met with Katie.
Well, no, she didn't. So she
Oh, no,
no-showed.
she didn't. Yeah, she no-showed.
He showed up.
She
and
was
she didn't.
sick.
Yeah, she was sick or had a car accident, something like
Something,
that.
yeah.
I think
No,
it was a car accident.
no.
wasn't it?
I think it was a car accident.
No.
Something
No,
happened.
she was
She was sick.
Sick.
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, you guys can check us out in the first season of Love
yeah.
After Lockup.
It was the funniest thing, and look where I'm at right now. I work for the company.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, like you saw it like just on a whim. Where
I
you're like,
literally
oh,
did, because I was
love-
like, she's crazy. I was like, he's trying to get her
Oh, yeah.
career started back, and she definitely didn't show up. And then like maybe a couple months later, not even realizing it was the same company.
Yeah.
And me and Jess were talking about it in our break room. Like, I was like, oh my God, there's a show that I watch. It was like, I was talking about season 2 to her.
Yeah.
And she was like, we were on that episode. I was like, and I was like, shut up. I remember that episode.
like it clicked to you.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that was 9-9. Then it
was our
clicked.
Chicago office,
Yeah,
yeah.
because you know, it made me really like notice. I was like, wait, that wall was pink in there. Like, then I started putting everything together. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Interesting, yeah.
And it looks like a lot of, the shows are coming back. This Is Us, The Resident, NCIS. They do have the creator of Blackish.
Oh, yeah. They're coming out with
Mixed-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have Blackish, Grownish, and, like, Mixed-ish.
Now Mixed-ish.
Yeah.
That one is more or less about Tracy Ellis's character.
So it's a spinoff.
It's a spinoff.
Oh, okay.
So it's about her character and what she, when like growing up, I think like in the 80s or something like that, as being like a mixed girl, like having like a white mom and a black dad. So it kind of talks about how she was like the nerd and people didn't understand and all that other stuff. So.
And then Blackish has been on for a couple of years now, right?
It's won a lot of awards.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what's crazy is Grownish is actually really good. The one of the daughter, the oldest daughter.
So they're all spin-offs of the show. Is Blackish still on?
Yeah.
So are the main characters who have spin-offs on Blackish still?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, I believe her name is pronounced Yarna. She isn't on Blackish as much, but like, because she's away at college.
Yeah.
That's where Grownish is spinned off to. It's like her experience at college. But she like makes guest appearances on Blackish from like time to time. But it's like they're keep going just about like the other two. And
it's almost how they do with like the Chicago PD.
Yeah.
Our
Fire,
CSI.
Yeah, and they kind of mix all together. Sometimes the characters cross over and go back and forth. Also, it was stated that it's going to be the last season of Fox's Empire.
Oh, yeah. They got rid
which
of
films
Star.
in Chicago.
Yeah. Oh, they did cancel Star?
They did cancel
We
Star.
had a lot of talent
On Star.
and Empire throughout the season, and actually we were just notified that Diamond White, who began with us back when she was 8 years old, was just offered ongoing guest starring role for the final season.
Oh, that's awesome.
I read something along the lines of she's going to be playing like I don't know if it was like a lounge singer who has terrible stage fright.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So she started back when she was just a child, and we had submitted her out to The Color Purple. It was on Broadway. We actually sent her to the one in New York.
Okay.
And the casting director said she was a little young for the role, but said, you know what, they're casting in Chicago, and her mom and her grandma had drove to New York for the auditions. So they drove to Chicago.
No way.
From New York.
That's determination.
Yeah. She auditioned for it. She ended up landing it. She got like a $42,000 contract. She
That's
ended up
amazing.
going, I think she might have did it a couple of years, maybe 1 or 2.
I think at least 2.
Yeah, and then
sure.
she ended up moving to Las Vegas, and she booked the Lion King. And she did that for a while, and then her and her mom moved to LA, when she's ended up going on the X Factor.
Okay.
Getting, I think, second or they brought her back.
Yeah.
She had been voted off, and they ended up bringing her back, and she got like second. And that's what really
She was on Team Britney Spears.
She was. Team Britney.
Yeah.
When was she born?
Britney Spears.
Yeah.
What's her full name?
Brittany Jean Spears.
Brittany Jean Spears was born December 2nd, 1981.
That's correct.
Yep.
Okay.
I love you.
But yeah, that's something that's really cool. We're really excited for Diamond. She's, again, somebody who has really put in the work over the years. She's busted her butt. Her and her mom, going on auditions, getting her face out there. She was in, Medea's Boo too.
Really?
Yeah. The X Factor is what really kind of launched her into stardom. Like, I remember talking to her, and then all of a sudden her account was verified, and
I got the blue check
so she
popping.
was getting really excited, and again, it's about putting in the work. You never know what's going to take you where, whether it's theater, commercial, film, voiceover.
Who's watching what you're
Exactly.
doing.
Really, anything, honestly.
Yeah.
It's all about, again, just taking every opportunity possible.
Yeah,
Everything's a learning experience and a growing experience, too. Survivor still on? What is it, like season 28?
I think so. Is Who? Joe Rogan's still doing it? Does he do it? I don't
No,
remember.
it's
Who's the
that guy that hosts like every show, right? Oh God,
I do not remember his name. My parents watch that like religiously, and I cannot remember his name. I know who you're talking
I
about
can
though.
see his face
I can
perfectly,
too.
and
His hair.
Yeah,
His
but I
body.
cannot.
Didn't he get like hurt really bad, and he
Did
had
he?
to stop doing it for a while? Or that might have
Wasn't
been a
it
while
like
ago.
bit by? Didn't he get bit by something?
Something like that. He had to get like airlifted off the island or
Yeah, I
something.
think he got like bit by a spider or something
I've-
like that.
I have never once watched Survivor ever.
I watched like the
I
first
don't
two
think
seasons.
I might have watched it at the beginning.
Yeah, and then when it kept going, I was like, okay, this is enough.
They survived.
Well, because
Yeah.
they drop them off right by plane with
Yeah.
the limited amount of supplies, and it's like you have to get to
So like Gilligan's Island, kind of, or not?
Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, I like that.
Really?
I mean, that's all I can think of.
Gilligan, that has nothing to do with getting dropped off. They had a shipwreck.
They had a shipwreck, and
There's a
they were just
shipwreck.
stuck forever. They had the professor too, though.
Yeah, Ginger.
Blue Bloods is coming back Friday, September
Wait,
27th.
say that one more time.
Blue
Blue
Bloods.
Bloods?
He was like blue blood.
Blue Buds. Do Blue Bloods with my favorite Donnie Wahlberg.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
get that show in the other one that Matt Balmer was on.
Who's Matt
Which one?
Balmer?
What?
I was like, wait, what?
Do you
He
guys
was-
know Matt Balmer?
He was in I don't remember the name of the show right now.
Exactly.
He was
See?
in American Horror Story.
Oh,
Which season?
He was in season 5 and season 6 too.
see, I loved American Horror Story, and then they lost me
They lost you at
after the
Freak
circus.
Show. Yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna
after
say
the Freak
that
show.
Wait, which one was the one where they were in Louisiana?
That was the Coven, I think.
Where it was like about like more like the dark magic and
Coven, yeah.
was that after?
Yeah, so
That
the
was
one
after
the
Freak
one
Show.
he was in was the one with Lady Gaga, actually.
Okay,
didn't
I
see
didn't
that
watch
one.
that one.
He played opposite of her. He was her boyfriend.
Okay, I didn't watch. Like I literally
see that
stopped
either.
watching after the episode. I mean, the season when they were in Louisiana
Mm-hmm.
with Angela Bassett. Like that's after that I stopped
Yeah.
watching.
It's gotten like hit or miss. I feel the new season, actually speaking of fall shows, is coming. I want to say the second week of September. It's a
Well, I can tell you.
yeah. Are you looking?
I know, I saw it on here.
Yeah, it's essentially it's going to be like a slasher TV show. So they're going back. Think like Friday the 13th.
I saw that.
Jason,
So wait,
yeah.
that's
Ooh,
Horror
September
Story.
18th.
Yeah, that's what the next season's going to
No,
be. Yeah.
okay. So I was wondering what that show was.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I'm like, what is this? But I never like really pay attention to it. I didn't know that was American Horror
Because they don't
Yeah.
tell it till the very end. They show like those weird commercials,
Clips,
and then
yeah.
all of a sudden
Yeah.
it's like American Horror Story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what made me pay attention to it, it was like one of the girls was like swinging on a swing, and then all of a sudden like
Oh,
it
I
goes
did see
black,
that.
and then you just hear a scream. You're like, wait, what just
What?
happened?
Yeah, and it's interesting. Like we talked about this a little bit, like on one of our previous podcasts, but like trying to recreate that nostalgia, I guess, like that '80s like vibe. I'm not really sure with like remakes and like going back to it. So
Yeah.
it's like it'll be interesting to see. Like I love Halloween, obviously, it's like my favorite holiday, but I love anything like that whole tone, that whole vibe. So I'm personally really excited about it.
You know where they
I
lost
don't
me is
know.
when they got rid of Jessica
Lang.
Lange. And what's cool about American Horror Story, right, is every season's a completely different
Mm-hmm.
scenario. So it's not like how most TV shows where it's just a continuance, right?
Yeah.
But Jessica Lange killed it with every
Every role.
character
Mhm.
that she played.
Yep.
And I think she won a lot of awards, didn't she?
For the first season and the third.
Yeah, I thought so too.
The second season freaked me out. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, the asylum.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I didn't like that one. I was like, oh, I can't sleep. The nuns, all that. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
this is too much.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
I'm interested to see kind of what's going to happen this season. It looked like more realistic show because
It
sometimes
did.
it's not so realistic.
No, it did. Only thing is, I hope it doesn't turn too teeny bopperish. Like,
Oh, let's hope not.
because it's like they have, because some of the clips, I'm not gonna lie, the acting did seem like a little cheesy.
Yeah.
But like, I hope it doesn't go like
They
too cheesy.
They upgraded. So they had Billy Lurd, who, if you guys don't know, is Carrie Fisher's daughter. She
Oh.
was she had a reoccurring role on one of the seasons. I believe it was season 6. And then season 7, the last one, Apocalypse, she was the main character, and she'll be back this season.
Oh, okay.
The next one. Sorry.
You didn't get all this time.
I know,
Tapping.
right? No tapping, sorry.
So what are you kind of looking most forward to this year? Like, what's your show that you, well, I already know, it's the Kelly Clarkson.
The Kelly Clarkson show,
But
obviously.
I mean, like, let's say not a new show that's coming, besides Kelly Clarkson. Clarkson.
Well,
No
we're
T.
both. I would say we're
Clarkson.
both watching Power.
Yes.
I haven't seen Power.
Girl,
It's good.
it's really good.
What's it about? I don't even
So,
know. I know it's got 50 Cent. I know it's his
so
show.
it's-
Yes, his show.
He actually...
Produced
he
by
was,
Randall Emmett.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was a character. Chris can correct me if I'm wrong. She's more of a Power fan than I am. I have watched it. But it is executive produced by... what's his real name? Is that
Curtis
his-
Jackson.
Curtis Jackson. 50 Cent.
Curtis 50 Cent Jackson.
Yes.
We don't owe you no money, by the way. No.
It's essentially the story of a family. The main character, his name is Ghost. He is a drug dealer, and his wife is privy to
Tasha.
Tasha, thank you, is privy to his extracurricular activities, and it kind of goes along, the premise of really what is power, like what is like power over somebody, power over yourself, and it goes into these different like essentially power dynamics, like in relationships and business, and
That sounds really interesting.
it's good.
really
yeah.
good.
It's on Stars. This is their final season.
What? Already? Didn't
Yeah.
it just start? What is
No,
this, the third?
This is season 6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's good because then I can binge watch
Yeah.
it.
And watch.
Yeah.
Once you
I'm
start.
so bad at being able to wait for the next season.
Me neither. I mean, me neither. Me too.
I
But
started it personally in season 4. A coworker of mine told me about it, and it's not. I'm very much into like anything supernatural, like anything like American Horror Story is one of my favorite shows. So it wasn't really a show that I would typically watch. So I watched the first season and I wasn't into it. Like I was like, this is just kind of boring. And then he told me, oh, give it another couple episodes. So I watched season 2 through season 4 in 2 days. So that was.
I was gonna say
roughly 18 episodes.
I'm like you. I was one of those that I didn't watch it in the beginning either. I was an Empire fan, and I was like, oh God, like 50's making fun of Empire, saying his show's better. And so one day, me and my boyfriend were just like, okay, let's see what this show's about. Like people keep saying it's so good, so we started watching it in season 2, and so we like watched the first episode. And I was like, oh, wait. I was like, I need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So we binge watched the first season, like, through the weekend. And I've been hooked ever since. Like, it's so good.
Another thing I'm really interested about, too, is this might be another conversation for another day, but Disney Plus comes out in November. So essentially,
I haven't even heard of this.
Yeah. So
what is this? They're streaming?
yes.
Oh.
So like.
Oh, yeah, I saw
Disney, Apple.
I saw Apple's.
And I think another one, but I'm not sure, are all coming out with their own streaming services.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's smart.
Well, yeah, because they so before Netflix had essentially bought the rights for Marvel's like TV series.
Right.
So like they had Daredevil, Jessica Jones, like I think 4 series is total, and each one had between 1 and 3 seasons. So Disney announced their own streaming service, and now since then those shows have stopped being produced on Netflix, and they're going to be going towards on Disney's own streaming service. But it doesn't really stop just there. It's movies, TV shows, like certain documentaries. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Netflix kind of.
Is it all Disney produced content that's going? So only Disney movies? Yeah, only Disney.
That's what I was.
Right?
So I was wondering because like they have like, I mean, for a parent, like for the kids portion of Netflix, they have a ton of Disney movies like Moana, all those movies play. So those are going to be taken
All
off.
of them. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know. Really?
Yep. So
I'm surprised. Well, I guess that would be kind of hard, even if they wanted to still license the films. Then why would people go to Disney Plus?
Yeah, so they
it makes
have
sense. Yeah,
Interesting.
business-wise.
so it's really gonna see, and they've already partnered with Hulu, like to offer a package that. So Hulu right now you can essentially get like an add-on of a subscription, so like Stars, HBO, and they're gonna partner with Disney Plus to make it like all inclusive, like one streaming service.
doing away with
Interesting.
cable.
Yeah.
No, they are,
Really?
because to tell you
Yeah.
the truth, like sometimes I wonder why I have cable. I'm not gonna lie. Cause
I watch mostly movies.
Yeah.
I do too. I watch movies, but then it's like some shows, like
Yeah.
as far as like
Yeah.
the shows I watch on like FX, which like Pose and like all these new shows that are coming up. And I'm like, okay, I can't get these on.
Right.
on,
Well, and that's how cable keeps
yeah,
you.
exactly.
Yeah.
Or like the CW, like all those shows. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna play out.
Yeah, I mean,
Cable needs to go
clearly
down
they're
in their
moving
prices.
towards a cable-free. You know, I've heard a lot of people recently, oh, I'm going to get rid of cable and I'm just going to get a Fire Stick and,
Fire
you know,
Sticks
I
suck.
can
I'm
order
sorry.
subscriptions to, what?
I said
Fire
Fire
Sticks
Six
suck.
sucks.
Do they?
We
I
have
love that.
it.
Personally.
Isn't it
hated
just
it.
like if you don't have a smart TV, it gives you the apps, right? I know you
Yeah,
can
so-
jailbreak it, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. So you can essentially like you can put on like on my Fire Stick I have Amazon Prime on there, which has its own TV shows.
But
as
if
well.
you have a smart TV, you don't need the stick.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. Okay. So essentially, it's just if you don't have a smart TV, it gives you the apps.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even with the movies, like just like another conversation when it's like broken into.
Yeah.
The movies, just like you have to go through like different links to find like the best quality of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that annoys me about Fire Sticks.
Yeah.
Well, and that's again how cable keeps us, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
But then
I mean,
again,
absolutely.
it sucks though, because then I always feel bad, like I'm taking away from like box office too.
Yeah.
But the other, like, one of the main interesting things that I'm really looking forward to seeing is with, like, when Netflix started their original programming, it was a large boom for us here. I mean, we did castings for people who've been in Ozark, like,
Yeah.
so all their original series. Disney Plus announced already 15 or so new original content, like new
Yeah.
shows.
I mean, that's great. More shows, of
more
course, for the
talent.
entertainment industry is huge.
Yeah.
It's more revenue. It's more casting. It's more jobs nationwide. You know, depending on where they're going to be filming, they're typically filming all over.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so
I mean, that's always good.
Well, right, and the biggest boom for Atlanta was those tax credits, like
Yeah.
Yeah. Atlanta's the new Hollywood.
No,
is.
it completely is the new
Everything.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Unless it has to be like a super big production budget for it to be like in LA.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is like you look at like stuff like that, like Shameless, for example. People, I am a huge Shameless fan, so I'm really excited that comes out November, I want to say.
Is this their last season too? It's been on for a while.
It's
I know
been
that.
on for
I've
a
seen
long
some
time.
of it.
You can
it is a good show.
You can almost assume it will unfortunately be their last season because the main character just left, Fiona.
Did
the daughter,
she?
right?
Emmy Robinson, yeah.
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 So
Wow.
there was that. She was in the news about equal pay for actors and actresses, and she ended
So
up.
she left the show because of
Well,
unequal pay.
She made a kind of a stink about it, but they ended up giving her a salary bump. To what it
Okay.
was, I'm not really sure. But again, kind of goes back to what we were saying a little bit earlier. Like, she wanted comparable pay to William H. Macy, for example, who has been in the business for
Exactly.
years.
And I believe he's some type of award winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether
for
it's an
sure.
Academy Award or an Emmy or Golden Globe.
Or even a
Exactly.
nominee that
Yeah.
boosts
And
you to a
again,
different.
like you have to take that into perspective. Just because you're working on the same show as someone, does that necessarily mean that you're entitled to the same pay if that person has more experience, more training?
Right.
That's debatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it goes into a lot of different things. Like you obviously got the role, and you're fantastic with it. I mean, if you've never seen the show, it's definitely worth watching.
Yeah, it's a good show.
she's really good on it.
Yeah.
She's fantastic. And like I said, I you know.
But how many people know her name?
Exactly.
Versus
Like,
William H.
honestly,
Macy.
I literally never knew her name. I just knew of her character.
I saw her
on the
in
show.
that one movie. What's the movie with Frodo? Maybe it's not Frodo. But the one where the wave comes crashing in and the Earth's like drowning. Oh, jeez. It was like the first one with the asteroid. It was like the first asteroid movie, and maybe the second one after Armageddon. Remember, like, asteroids coming at the Earth, and they take their family, and then everything freezes over. I know she was in that one.
I know what movie you're talking about. I don't mean to interrupt, but
does anyone
it's
have a
probably time to wrap
smartphone?
up now.
Okay.
What? We shouldn't have said that on the
What?
podcast.
What?
All right, we're wrapping it up. How long are we at?
You guys just crossed 50 minutes.
Holy shit. Oh, we did good.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
wait,
did.
what were we just talking about? Oh, Emily Ronstein. Okay, not knowing her. Okay, so how many people know, who she is versus William H. Macy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like William H. Macy was in Jurassic Park movies. Like he's
Oh,
been
yeah.
around. Like,
I never knew her name. I just knew her character. I never knew her name.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say she's not a good actress, but it's just like
Well,
you said, I didn't.
What's interesting to me is like 2 years before I saw her in Shameless, I saw her in this very awful Dragon Ball Z movie, and her acting was bad. Like it was atrocious,
Yeah.
honestly.
But
so,
and that's another thing. I mean, not the sidebar, but what people don't understand, some actors and actresses are better on TV shows versus
Film.
film.
Yeah.
Right. So that's another thing. People don't get discouraged if you're booked for TV shows versus you want to be a movie actress. Like being in the industry is being in the industry.
Yeah.
And if I saw her just off of that movie, I would not think twice about her, but
Right.
phenomenal and Shameless, absolutely fantastic.
Well, at least we have a lot of good shows to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, Charmed's back, Dynasty, Legacy, Supernatural. There's some more new ones. I don't know.
Supernatural. Oh, it's the last season, I think.
Yeah, Legacies. Madam Secretary's final season, The Walking Dead, is back for season 10. I know we've had some talent on
Really?
that too. We do help cast, for a lot of extra and under 5 and feature roles on here. SWAT, SEAL Team. That was a good show. I did get a chance to see that last year. Law and Order, of course, is back again. That
For
show
the-
will never
for
end.
the millionth
Never ever.
season.
Just like this podcast today. Well, that's good. I mean, we have a lot of fun shows to look forward to coming up, and hopefully some really good shows. Hopefully we'll get another Game of Thrones type series here.
Yeah,
Not
for
necessarily type, but one that everybody's
They're already
really
working
into.
on another one.
They are.
They're working on the spin-offs,
prequel, yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's a
Really?
prequel series.
Yeah.
But it's not going to have any of the same cast, right? Isn't it like all of the stories, but way before them?
I think it's supposed to. I don't know how much you guys are into Game of Thrones lore, but
lot.
I
Yeah,
think it's
we are.
the
We're really into it.
it's about the Long Night, so like
Okay.
pre like first coming of the Night King type deal.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So it would be we wouldn't have our Cersei, and
No.
she's dead now anyways. And
Yeah.
actually, they killed
You
off a lot of
ruined
the
it.
cast.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I mean, if
For
you
a
guys
show that's
don't,
ended,
I'm
like,
off.
months
You
ago.
guys don't know that.
I'm sure everybody's seen it by now.
Haven't
It's
seen
been
it.
over for a long time.
Oh
well,
yeah,
you didn't like it.
Justin. Okay, so he. Speaking of how it was a fad to get the chicken sandwich, this is the only guy that didn't go with the flow of Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Well, what's funny is Evan had talked about Game of Thrones when it first came out, and I tried to watch the first episode or first season, and I wasn't into it either. I was just like, I can't. And then my brother-in-laws were talking about it, and I'm like, okay. So my husband and I sat down, and we actually started watching it. And once I got through the first couple episodes, I mean, I was hooked.
I was the same
watching
way.
episodes before work. He would sneak and watch them before me, and you can tell because on Comcast it says watch, and I'm like, you already watched this. He's like, I couldn't help it, and so I binge watched 4 seasons in like 3 weeks.
That's how I was. I had started watching it. So I started here in January of this year. I think I started watching it like a couple weeks right before.
Yeah.
And by the time, I think after my second week, I was already done with the whole thing.
Wow.
I've tried, like I said, I love anything like that era, that time frame.
Yeah.
and I just could not. I couldn't get
Really?
into it. No.
You'll have to try
Yeah.
again. You'll get into it.
Yeah,
But
well,
hopefully the new show will kind of keep the momentum
Well, after
going.
the terrible season I heard of the last season, I don't
Oh,
want
yeah.
to end
Yeah,
on it.
I don't
let's
wanna
not even
talk-
go there. That's
Let's
a
not
whole
talk
nother
about that.
2-hour conversation.
Yeah.
For anyone, again, that's interested in front-of-the-line passes for American Idol, please reach out to us. The email will be in the link below. And thank you so much for joining us on
Always
9-9
wanted to do
Nation,
that.
Right.
episode 4, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.